space are belong to us.
You're listening to Gamers Digest, a podcast where your hosts put the controllers down just long enough to talk about gaming news, rumors, and anything else they can think of. Here are your hosts, Spider-One and Mr. Factastic.
Welcome to Gamers Digest. We are trying out a new format with me on the left and him on the right.
So I can't look at you.
I just did it too. That's okay. We are a game podcast. We talk about gaming news, rumors.
Wait, so I'm like player 2 now. Wait.
Yeah, you are the second player.
Wait, I'm like player 2 now.
Yeah. You're looking at the wrong wall.
Wait.
I put up the little circles. So we look at the right spot, and you're still not even doing it. So, but we do have a lot of gaming news this week. Holy crap, was it a busy week? We were complete lazy bums and just played a whole bunch of video games.
We did.
Some not so great, some pretty good. So we're actually gonna jump right into it. What did you play this week?
Let's see. I spent most of my weekend doing Galactic Civilizations 1 and 2.
That's like a PC real-time strategy game?
They're called it's actually turn-based. They're called 4X games, Exterminate, Exploit, Explore, and I forget what the other X.
So basically just like Civilization.
Basically like Civilization, yeah.
Just Galactic.
But yeah, so it's a really cool game. I remember playing it a long time ago, like after I graduated high school. And it's really fun.
Now, is it multiplayer?
Nah, it's strictly single player.
Oh.
I dabbled a little bit in the original Fallout, Red Faction. Basically, I've been loading up games that I can play on the from GameFly's unlimited PC gameplay. So, and we also played Colonial Marines.
Yeah, we'll talk about Colonial Marines. In fact, that's going to be our review, and we're gonna freeball it and just.
We're gonna roast it.
Let it rip.
Yeah. I've also been procrastinating a lot.
Yeah. What have you been putting off?
Everything.
Everything.
I'll do it all tomorrow.
I noticed that you were supposed to work like all weekend, and then every time I came out here, you were just sitting there playing Galactic Civilization.
Yep. Just putting it off.
I mean, we watched Game of Thrones all week, and then you put off all your work. Then.
I'm trying not to look at you.
That's okay. We'll get used to it. I mean, it's the first show.
Mm-hmm.
Where we got it. I also played Aliens, unfortunately. I did a lot of Guild Wars 2. I jumped back into that now that I have a little more time. That I got caught up on the World of Warcraft server. Of course, still did World of Warcraft. I started Dishonored today because I was off. Apparently, it's a pretty short game because I am on the very last mission. The last mission, oddly enough, takes about half of the game. So. Yeah, it's not laid out really well.
That reminds me of when I played Tomb Raider Anniversary, and the final boss fight was like 40 minutes. It was like really long.
That's only because you didn't know what you were doing.
No, there's a bug in the game,
oh.
Or not necessarily a bug, but there was a flaw in the game design where you're supposed to jump over the enemy's back, or over the enemy, and then shoot them when you're jumping over them, and depending on which button you press, if you hit either A or B, you'll do the same thing, but they wanted me to press B, and I was pressing A.
Oh, so you just weren't winning.
The game was just killing me.
And then I also did Torchlight 2, which I'll probably do a review on at some point. That's like the Diablo type game. Made by the guys who made Diablo 2 and then left.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have a whole lot of news this week. I really didn't have to look too much. And we're actually going to start out with a trailer, so why don't you pitch this one for us?
Now, a couple years ago, there was a Mortal Kombat trailer, and it was really cool. Everybody thought it was going to be the next Mortal Kombat movie. It turned out that it was just some guy who's a really huge fan of Mortal Kombat, and he put together that awesome trailer with Michael Jai White. I can't think of the one chick, 7 of 9 from Star Trek.
Yeah, the chick commander or whatever.
Yeah.
Captain.
She played Sonya Blade. Basically, they got them all together, and they actually made a web series based on this. So he did that fake trailer, and he got a job from it.
And unfortunately, they didn't do a movie from it. They did like a webisodes type thing.
Yeah, I think they did like 10 webisodes, but that was the first season, and the second season's coming out, and it's called Mortal Kombat Legacy, and here's the trailer to season 2. Pretty cool. Oh, wait.
They can hear us. Yeah, but you were looking at
Yeah, I looked at you.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, when it was normal speed. But, this is going to be the most awkward show ever.
I know.
Oh, man.
This should be a new drinking game. Anytime you hear "get over here," you should take a drink.
Or we look at each other. Look at the wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Curtis.
Yeah, okay. So Mortal Kombat Legacy, pretty cool. Check it out. When the first episode comes out?
No.
Way to do your research.
Coming soon.
With a K.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, the big announcement this week was by Bungie. They unveiled their next big game. It's called Destiny. It's going to be an ever-present first-person shooter. Basically, you can read that as MMO. First-person shooter, console only. You can play single player, or you can interact with other people. From what we've seen, it looks really cool, but they didn't really show too much gameplay. They just kind of said, yeah, this is what it is. They showed a kind of a, not even really a launch trailer, but like a documentary on it, which is kind of weird because the game's not even out yet. They're telling us, this is how we're gonna make it, but we haven't made it yet.
And they want it to be like a 10-year project, or like a 10-year saga, something like that.
Right, and the weird thing is, it was originally slated for 2013, but they pushed it back and they said, yeah, that's not going to happen. But it is going to be both for current gen and next gen consoles. And from the rumors is PS3 and PS4 players will be able to play with each other, and Xbox 360 and Xbox, whatever the next one is, will be able to play with each other, but not cross-platform. But overall, I'd check out the video documentary. You can go to the website. If you pre-order it on GameStop.com, or if you go to some of the GameStop stores, if you pre-order it, they'll give you a poster like right away, so you don't got to wait till you pick it up. And then, of course, they'll probably have all other kinds of goodies once it comes out. Weapons, map packs, all the free crap they give away. So, but I'm actually really excited for it because it's like the next step of Halo. From the guys that made Halo, so
yeah.
And MMO, that's got me written all over it.
It's like move out of your way, Planet Side.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking of, like when they debuted it. Why don't you do the next one?
So basically, they're making these laptops. Do we have a picture of it? Oh.
No, they only had I wanted to do a picture of it. But they only had the backs of them, and they weren't really good. It was just like a black back that said like Dreamcast. So
they're doing 3 different laptops that are like decaled, like the Sega Genesis or the Sega consoles, the Sega Genesis, the Saturn, and the Dreamcast. They look really cool. They're only available in Japan, right?
Yes.
And they're really ultra rare. Like they're only going to be 50 of each kind, so that's pretty.
And they're
crazy.
really expensive.
Yeah, they're ranging from like $1,000 to $2,000 for these laptops. I mean, they look cool. If you're like,
it's a neat idea, a way to like bring the stuff back. So
yeah, I mean, they look cool, but
you're not going to jump out and buy one.
Nah,
you're saving your money for that $2,200 Razer laptop, right?
I'd probably rather have one of those.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Final Fantasy X, the HD remake, some details have finally surfaced. We broke this story that they were doing that, probably in one of our first shows, so almost a year ago, and no details have come out since then, because we definitely would have talked about it. But some details came out, and some screenshots came out from the beta version, so a lot of people got a little worried that, maybe they're just going to port it to the portable, and then they said no, it's still going to be a PS3 game as well as Vita, and I bet it's going to support the cross-buy that Sony's pushing pretty hard. But it looks pretty good. It's pretty much the same screenshot we showed you last time, just a little different of an angle.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for Final Fantasy X.
Would you get the HD remix?
For PS3, I probably would. I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine really like sitting through like 40, 50 hours of gameplay. Like,
can you imagine how many times you have to charge that battery?
True.
Plus, that with the Vita, they're going to be like motion controls.
Oh yeah.
Blitzball, Birds with Friends type thing. So.
Nah, no thanks.
Rock Band. We haven't talked about them. I don't think we've ever talked about them at all on the show.
Really?
Yeah. We talked about Guitar Hero, I think. But everybody knows Rock Band. It was very popular back in the day. And DLC apparently is still coming out for it every week until April. They finally said that they're going to stop it in April. So if you still play Rock Band, unfortunately, I'm sure you have thousands upon thousands of songs.
So this is actually good news for your hard drive.
Right.
Like, I have a friend who, like, he constantly complains about how he doesn't have enough hard drive space to, like, download new demos and stuff because he doesn't have any space because of all the Rock Band songs that he has on there. So, and they've been supporting the Rock Band songs, like, weekly for, like, 5 years. So that's crazy.
It's pretty crazy. So, sorry, ends April 2nd, and then I'm sure they'll all be discounted and then removed from the store so you can never download them again.
Yay!
I'm bitter tonight. I won't go into the reason why, but I'm very bitter tonight. Sony patents a tablet for PlayStation. I think it's a bad idea, just because we all saw what happened to THQ when they tried to push a tablet for consoles. But that's what PlayStation wants to do, so that's what they're going to do. It's supposed to be a way to interact with the consoles, so you can draw, doodle. It's going to interact with the Move, so I imagine it's going to be kind of like the Wonder Book that we showed off and play around with that. But, why?
I don't know. And it's like dubbed the iPad.
Yeah. E-Y-E, just like the
iToy.
iToy, and then the PlayStation Eye.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, here's an interesting story because, the Crysis 3 beta has been downloaded over 3 million times, which is cool. I've mentioned in 4 consecutive shows, 3 or 4 consecutive shows that I downloaded the beta and I still haven't played it yet.
You haven't played any of the Crysis though.
No, that's probably why. I just there's no pull. I know it's supposed to be one of the best looking games ever, but it's
not on console.
Oh,
it's good looking on console, but it's not going to blow you away on console.
So I've never really. I was like, oh, cool, I can download it, and I just never.
It kind of goes back to that what we were talking about last week. That on console you pay more for an inferior product.
Yeah.
Disappointing. But yeah, Crysis 3. I have to say they have the best current commercial on TV right now with ZZ Top. I died laughing. I actually wanted to grab it for us tonight, but
it's already out now, right?
It comes out tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it comes out tomorrow with Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. But check out the commercial. Check out the game if you like Crysis. It's gonna be a solid game. I don't think there'll be any problems.
It'll be better than Aliens vs. Predator. Or wait, Aliens, Colonial Marines.
It'll probably be better than Aliens vs. Predator too. But that's a different discussion.
Yeah.
Images of the PlayStation 4 controller have hit the web. It kind of looks like a PlayStation controller with a screen on it. It's almost like they're doing the Wii U thing,
but doing it really badly.
Actually, see, to me, I didn't mind it so much because they're going to polish it up because it's only the demo controller.
Yeah, it did. But I'm gonna miss the old PlayStation controller.
But I mean, the dimensions and everything still looked like it was there. It still looked like a PlayStation controller. It's just that middle part that was a little fatter, and it had that screen.
You're looking at me.
I was looking at my finger, but anyway. Go on the web, check those out if you're interested. Honestly, I'm just waiting until the 20th to we really start pushing PlayStation 4 stuff. But I didn't want to mention this.
So Take-Two is going to publish all the WWE games from now on. I think that's pending a
Court approval.
Court approval, because just legal issues. There's always legal issues.
Woo! You know what that means, though? We can finally stop talking about THQ, because that was the last property of THQ that anybody cares about.
This is true. This is true.
THQ is officially gone. Everybody, throw up your hands and do the Harlem Shake.
That'd be another good drinking game. Every time we mention that THQ story, you take a drink. Nah, that wouldn't.
Stop trying to invent. I looked at you again. Stop trying to invent drinking games for our show. We're supposed to be an all ages show. The M-rated shows are later in the week. Halo 2, we broke the story, I think it was 2 weeks ago, that they were shutting down the multiplayer servers on PC. That's not the case anymore. They're going to continue until June now. I think they were shutting down originally at the end of this month.
Or I think it was the 15th or something like that. I can open it up again.
It's alright. Either way, they're going till June, and they actually left kind of a cryptic message with it when they said that they were going to keep it open. They actually said that we are looking into other alternatives, so maybe they're going to try to keep it open longer than that. I can't imagine there's too much of a demand for it, but it's nice to keep those servers open. I don't know if I should save this for our Aliens discussion, but I went back and looked, and the Aliens vs. Predator 2 servers are gone. Like they shut them down. But the Aliens vs. Predator servers, the original 2000 game, is still up. So I guess there's got to be a market for some of it.
That's strange that the original would be.
The original, if you remember, we had to go through GameSpy originally.
Oh, yeah.
That switched at some point to Steam. And Steam sells the original game. So Steam runs a couple of servers. Not many.
That's cool.
But you can pick up... we'll talk about it for Aliens later. Speaking of Steam... Wow, I segued in. I didn't even try to. Valve actually let go of some employees last week. Not many. They said under 15. For... Let's see if I can get this right. Android and hardware development. So, kind of sucks, but Gabe Newell put out a thing and he said it's kind of just trimming the fat. None of the projects are canceled or being postponed. It's just kind of getting rid of some excess, which Gabe Newell kind of looks like he knows excess.
Your favorite Marvel character is going to have his game come out this summer, so that's cool. Oh, wait, whoa.
Maybe you should mention who my favorite Marvel character is.
Deadpool.
Yes, the Deadpool game is coming out this summer. They didn't put a date on it.
You've worn the Deadpool T-shirt a few times.
I've worn a couple of them now, so. But it's being developed by High Moon Studios, the same guys who did the good Transformers games. And they didn't put an official date on it, but they did say, yes, it's going to be summer 2013. So as soon as they put a date on it, I probably will pre-order that one. Because even if it's bad, I now have an extremely bad frame of reference to compare it to.
Yeah.
So my expectations can only be beat. And the last new game coming out this year is there is going to be a new Batman game in the Arkham series, Arkham World maybe.
Yeah.
We talked about it a couple weeks ago how they what's the word? Bought domains. There's a word for that, but they bought domains for a bunch of Arkham stuff. So
Arkham Apocalypse.
Yeah,
that's gonna be the next game name.
I don't know, because did you play Arkham City?
Nope.
Okay.
Or Asylum.
Oh. See, I never finished Asylum, but I did finish Arkham City. Spoiler alert, but the Joker dies at the end of Arkham City, supposedly. I mean, you see him die. It's not like he dies off screen. You see him die. At least, the whole type thing.
He had like a disease or something, right?
Yes, because basically what happens in the first one, in Arkham Asylum, he basically injects himself with a bunch of the serum Bane uses, but he injects himself with a whole bunch of it at once, and eventually you beat him, and all that serum leaves him, and he shrinks back down, and his body is just destroyed and decaying because of it. So in the second one, you're basically kind of looking for a cure while doing other stuff. Well, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in the second one, but basically you don't get the cure to him in time. So
interesting.
Oh well.
Those Arkham games were something I definitely wanted to get into, but just never really. There's no pull.
They're cheap now. I mean, even the second one's not that expensive.
Not bad. Oh, another thing that they should know is that that they were talking about. We said due by the end of the year. There's also something about another Batman game that's supposed to come out next year. Set in the Silver Age.
That would be pretty cool.
So
that like a
Silver Age or the Golden Age or whatever. Just I guess the older type of Batman style.
I don't know the ages for DC. Is that like Adam West Batman, or is that like?
I think it's like old. I think just old. Yeah, DC sucks. Oh, I'm just saying it now. I'm sorry if I alienated some fans.
I've heard only good stuff about the New 52 because I mean I've been a Marvel fan pretty much my whole life. Like I've never been a big DC fan. I like Batman. I like crap. There's another DC hero I like, and I can't think of his name. He's a lesser known one.
Plastic Man.
Not that lesser known. He's on the Justice League. The green guy. Not Green Lantern.
Oh.
The alien.
I know you're talking Martian Manhunter.
Him. Yeah, I always liked him because he could kind of do everything, but not to the point that Superman could. See,
I was a DC fan until Maximum Carnage came out.
Oh, that turned you.
That turned me over. That series right there. Those 14 issues. I was a Marvel fan for life after that. I mean, I still like some DC stuff.
So basically, what we need is we need Deadpool to be really good, so Marvel can finally have a good video game. Because I mean, even their good video games are kind of like mediocre.
Yeah, I mean, still my absolute favorite right now has to be that Wolverine game.
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it that. That one was.
Yeah, this is an A+.
All right, so we got a couple discussion topics tonight. Which one do you want to start with?
I guess we could start with the first one right here. Our game's getting shorter.
Our game's getting shorter. The answer to that question is yes.
Yes.
Discussion topic's over. More so not are they getting shorter, but why are they getting shorter? And we're actually going to talk about this a little later when we talk about aliens. But how is technology getting better and games getting shorter?
It has to do something with like a cost, like some type of cost ratio, because it's like Dishonored. Dishonored, it won a bunch of awards this year. I'm playing through it now just so I can kind of appease my need to play it because everybody said it was so good. Mm-hmm.
But I started on it this morning around 10, and then I went out for 2.5 hours,
mm-hmm.
2 hours till like noon, and I came back and I played up until about 5 when I wrote the show. Not that I normally write the show right before we do it, but
no, not at all.
And I got ready for the show, but like I said, I'm almost done with it at this point. Now, I mean, there's some secrets and stuff like that, but 7-hour game, that's pretty short.
Yeah, and then you gotta factor in the part that what do you do after that?
Right. I'm not
now is Dishonored like a type of game where you can do things differently? Like maybe if you wanted to play through it again, and then you can maybe like just take a different approach to how you play through the game.
That is kind of the nice thing about it is there for every level there's 15 to 20 ways you can go through
mm-hmm.
and ways you set up your character and stuff. So I can see that, but the problem with Dishonored that I already see is there's no real motivation to do that because the only driving factors in Dishonored are: have you killed anybody? Did anybody find you? and did you kill your target or let your target live? Like, dispose of it by non-lethal means. So how you get to those points really doesn't matter.
Because it's all going to be the same.
Right. And
unlike like Walking Dead, when you play through like your good playthrough and your bad playthrough, it's like a totally different feel.
Right. The dialogue is pretty much the same. The only thing that changes is, like, say in the first mission you just go John Rambo and just kill everybody rather than stealth through it. In the second mission, things are going to be laid out a little different because security is going to be tightened a little more. There's going to be more what they call infected people because obviously there were more bodies. So stuff like that changes. But like I said, the objectives themselves still stay the same. Like in one mission, you have to infiltrate a party, find out who the mistress is, and you have to kill the mistress. Or if you dig enough and find enough clues, you can find a non-lethal way to remove her, which is basically give her to somebody else so he can abduct her. Kind of shady. But because I did rent it, I kind of want to get the best ending on the first try so I can just take it back. So I've been pretty careful. So I've done all the non-lethal stuff because that's how you get the best endings. So after I do that, I'm not really going to be motivated to go back and play the bad way, especially since combat in that game's kind of weird.
Yeah, like I like games that if they do tend to be short, there can at least be a little bit of replayability in there.
Right.
But yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why they would do that and how they get away with it. Because I mean, I wanted to buy Dishonored. I've talked for weeks how I wanted to buy it, and then I rented it, and I'm so glad I rented it because if I would have bought it for even $40, I would have been disappointed because I'm like, why did I spend $40 on 6 hours?
And this kind of like dips into my point from the last show we did, where I think it was the last show where like these games are too expensive for us to be getting like a lackluster amount of content. You know, and then they do things where they expect us to buy add-on content, DLC, stuff like that. It's just kind of a I don't want to be ripped off.
And there is some DLC for Dishonored, but nothing substantial. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, I've already heard is like an 8-hour game. So maybe it's just the type of games I play. Maybe it's just the action adventure games. But Devil May Cry, the main story was still like 14 or 15 hours, and then to go back and collect everything, or to play it again on a harder difficulty, that's actually, I don't know why that differentiates. Maybe it's just the game, but that actually is feasible to me, because, sure, it's a 15-hour campaign, but there's a lot more stuff to it. And there's like that motivating factor to get better. Like, Dishonored, you don't get better. Bayonetta, you get better, but you hit a point where you don't get any better. It just tells you to spend money so it can make you think you get better. So maybe that's it. Maybe they need to start working in more of that kind of stuff. I hate to say it, but the Call of Duty perk system is actually a really good way to do it. And Aliens, unfortunately, tried to do this, but they did it in a really bad way. So if you play single player, you can unlock stuff to use in multiplayer, but the single player was atrocious.
Blah.
So we'll get into that.
Yeah, we will.
I think they need, if they're going to concentrate on these cinematic, epic experiences, they need to find a way to expand the other portions of the gameplay. Like, BioShock's always a good example. Like, the main BioShock story in the first one took you 14 hours, 15 hours to complete. If you were casually looking for stuff. If you were, going out of your way, obviously it was a little more. But they made you casually look for stuff, because you would hit a point where it would become, I wouldn't say too hard, but it would become inconvenient if you didn't find certain things. And that was cinematic for a first-person shooter. And still, 15, 20 hours worth of gameplay
for $60.
Right.
You get your money's worth, and I think they put so much into these games, or they focus so much into trying to make good games, and they just turn out to be bad, or not bad, but I can't find the right word.
Lame.
Lame's one word.
But then, I mean, on the flip side of that argument, we still have games like Grand Theft Auto, Skyrim, every JRPG ever that takes 70 hours to complete.
But then those games, there's like a let's look at the correlation between these games, like Grand Theft Auto, any type of JRPG. There's like a development cycle. Fallout. Oh, well, look at you. Fallout. Like these games take 3 or 4 years before they're ever made, and they're worth our money. And then you have games that are like Call of Duty, Batman. These games that are coming out every single year. I forgot to mention that on the Batman story. I was like, is this going to become the new Call of Duty thing where they think they can throw a new Batman game at us or a new Assassin's Creed at us? It's
probably.
I mean, I don't want it to be. Don't insult our intelligence. We're wising up to you guys, especially after Colonial Marines.
Colonial Marines was in development for 7 years. Just throwing that out there.
True. I forgot about that.
7
years. But there's a little bit more to that.
You were back in Germany then.
I was. I was in 5th grade then.
Alright, so we're unanimous. We want longer games. You know, our games need more stamina.
Yeah. Especially if you want us to pay that much money for it.
I know. I mean, honestly, at this point, maybe for the next generation, I might skip at least
buying them and just rent them all.
Well, yeah,
if you can, if you're allowed to,
or even go, just dump the money that I was going to put into the console into my PC and just go PC gamer because it's cheaper in the long run.
It'll look better.
Right. I do like how the consoles are becoming entertainment boxes though. So I could see keeping like the PlayStation. All right. So the other topic you posted, missing time.
Yeah, missing time. So basically, I thought it'd be cool to talk about like what are some of the games where you just like totally lost track of time, Because I just thought about it because I was playing Galactic Civilizations this weekend. I also and when I wasn't playing Galactic Civilizations, I was watching a Let's Play of Galactic Civilizations. So it's like a massive time sink. I've got some things going on in my head and like life and stuff. I'm like, you know what? Let me just forget about stuff right now. Go in this little time sink. But I mean, what are some games that you've played that you lose track of time? I know this is the big obvious one.
Life. Oh, you mean World of Warcraft?
Yeah.
I knew it. Yes, World of Warcraft. That is. See, World of Warcraft's easy for me to lose time in because there's always somebody that wants to do something. So they're like, oh, let's go do this. Oh, let's go do that. Let's go do this. Let's go. So you're kind of like, okay, well, I'll do this dungeon with you, and then you're at the end, and the guy's like, oh, I saw you did a dungeon with him. I need something out of this. Like, all right, well, I'll help you out too. And it works both ways because I finish a dungeon and I'm like, oh, I really need to go get this for this key. Not that you have to do this anymore in World of Warcraft, but I need to go here to do this thing with a group, and there's finally a group doing it. So okay, well I better get in to do that, or I might have to wait 2 more weeks.
So MMOs are pretty high up there. Are there any other games like console games?
Skyrim.
Like those free open world type games. Those are like for me definitely like Fallout 3. It's easy to get lost in that game because you're basically creating your own adventure and those types of games like Skyrim and Oblivion and all that, Elder Scrolls.
Right. Spider-Man, the newest Spider-Man game, I could kind of lose myself in it because it was so fun to just go around and break up crime, rescue victims, stuff like that.
And plus, it's cool to swing around as Spider-Man.
And they actually did it pretty well in that one. There have been better, but there have been a lot worse.
XCOM is another huge one for me. The new one and the old one. Those are like massive time sinks. Mass Effect. But do you remember when you noticed that you would play games a lot? Like when you were little. I remember it's like when you started playing games, you don't realize that you've been playing for so long. When you were young, you could tell it was when you looked at your pants and you realized you had pissed yourself and you don't even know when. You know that has this ever happened to you?
That has never happened.
What? Wait, are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm trying to like say this without looking at you. Really?
Yeah, that has never happened.
Oh, so it's only happened to you?
It's only happened to you.
It's only happened to me?
Yes.
Oh. I was like 5.
Okay, you're pretty young then.
Yeah, I'm talking about Nintendo. Oh, not current gen stuff. Let's get this.
So why didn't missing time's kind of misleading? Why didn't you write on there like, have you ever played a game so long you pissed yourself? No.
No. Well, when I was young.
Yeah.
I'll admit that now.
Come on. What game completely made you forget about bodily function? Like, even World of Warcraft has never made me forget about bodily function.
Super Mario Bros.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Like, even, like, if I have the Rhea and I am playing World of Warcraft, that raid boss can wait. Like, if I am in the middle of a pool and, you know, we are going to die because I am not going to pee or crap myself.
It's happened. What can I say? I was like 5 years old. Yeah. There
have been some instances when, you know, I'll put off eating well. Like, I'll find a snack or something to eat rather
Beef jerky.
Beef jerky, right. That's about as far as I've ever gotten. I've never gotten to where I completely ignore normal bodily functions. Like,
if my brother's watching this show right now, Marcus, I think we're
Oh, Marcus did it too?
Yeah.
Oh, way to call him out on the show.
Hey, we thought everybody did it.
We did.
We got acclimated to it. I don't piss myself now. So
that's not how that sentence came out. The sentence came out like you just got used to pissing to yourself.
we got acclimated to holding it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, you are not training the kids in potty training.
No, I'm not.
Just go.
Yeah.
Just go.
But here,
Bowser is more important than the carpet.
Oh boy.
But yeah, there have been some games I've lost.
Time sink right there.
Yes. Oh man.
It's hard to do this conversation without looking at you.
I thought somebody was sending me a message like, "Whoa, dude, Cisco pissed himself."
Yeah, no, I hear a lot of laughter, so we must have like a really amused listener or watcher,
right?
Viewer.
Yeah. Okay, I think this discussion topic's run its course.
Oh, this is great. So we're gonna go from me talking about pissing myself to talking about Star Trek. That's amazing.
Wow, you're a bedwetting nerd.
I know.
All right, talk about Star Trek.
So basically, I got a press release on Friday from Namco Bandai, and you know they're talking about their new Star Trek game coming out in April. I believe it's April 23rd is when the game comes out. I am going to be getting a review copy of the game, so I can't wait for it. But here's a video for, hopefully it'll play in the correct speed. But here's a video that talks about the game. I mean, so you can get an idea of it. Oh God.
Nope.
Oh God.
Keep talking.
But yeah, this game looks really cool. It reminds me of Mass Effect. It reminds me of Mass Effect. The way like the gameplay is, where you're third-person shooter. Okay, here we go.
So excited by the Star Trek film in 2009, we got together and said, how do we bring this into the gaming space? We knew that we wanted to play the characters that we love, Kirk and Spock. Kirk is this brash cowboy character, where Spock is the exact opposite.
I like this one. There are a few that you do not like, Captain.
When you break down Star Trek into those elements, you had to make a co-op game. There was no other game we could possibly make.
Take cover!
We have great gameplay. You actually get to be Kirk and walk around the Enterprise. You get to go to the bridge. You get to sit in the captain's chair and give orders to your crew.
Mr. Scott, prepare to transport. Aye, aye, sir. Energize.
Spock is very logical and methodical and decides, no, we're going to have to do this smarter. We're going to have to use stealth. It's those kind of moments that make the player feel like they're living the Star Trek world. Not only are we a third-person shooter, but we're an action-adventure game. We have great skydives and space dives. You can play as the Enterprise.
Prepare to engage hostiles.
You're going to feel like you actually were in the middle of a great, authentic Star Trek adventure.
You know, if we weren't trying to save the entire universe, this might actually be fun.
So there was Star Trek in single speed at eventually.
Didn't take as many tries, but yeah, that game looks really cool. I'm obviously biased because I'm a Star Trek fan. What is it? The game actually it's part of the movie canon where it takes place in between both movies, or the previous movie and the new one coming out, Star Trek Into Darkness. I think that comes out in May, but I mean it bridges both events or between both movies, so it's gonna be cool. There's something else I knew I wanted to say, but I forgot. So,
it's been in development for 7 years, and it's gonna be terrible. No,
3 years.
3 years. I'm not a huge Star Trek fan. I wouldn't even consider myself a Star Trek fan because I never really watched it. But I'm a little worried about the game. Not as worried as I was when I saw the Aliens trailer that you played, but I'm a little worried that maybe they're trying to do a little too much in the game. Like
adding so much, adding all those things.
They might run into the problem where they do everything not so great and nothing great.
Nothing good at all.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it is a licensed game, and there's only, like I said, there's only one licensed game that I really like, and that was that Wolverine game. So it's tough.
Yeah.
We need to have a licensed game discussion, maybe next week. Or did we already have one?
I don't think we've had one yet, so we'll definitely have to have that talk. Probably have it now, but
probably could. Because I don't want to talk about what we're about to talk about next. But
yeah,
we're gonna have to talk about it.
Oh, yeah, we do. All right, so we are reviewing Aliens: Colonial Marines. It is the newest Aliens game released.
Yeah.
Trying to talk like Shatner, but I'm not very good at it.
Wait, keep going. I'm gonna look something up.
Okay. Aliens: Colonial Marine was developed by Gearbox Software, published by Sega, but really it was developed by Time Warp and Gearbox and someone else over 7 years. So what you ended up getting was nowhere near what they promised everybody. It was literally awful to play.
Yeah, it was very hard to play.
We sat down and we tried to do a Let's Play co-op, and we couldn't finish it. We couldn't get past Mission 3, not because it was hard, not because, there was something blocking us, but because after Mission 3, we literally were searching for knives to stab ourselves.
We would have quit after Mission 2, but we decided to keep going. Let's just do one more. And then we found out there was 15 missions.
Yeah, there's 13 missions total. We gave it the benefit of the doubt because Mission 1 and 2 both take place on a spaceship, and we're kind of okay, it's getting ramped up. Mission 3 is when you get to Hadley's Hope, and I was kind of okay, it's Hadley's Hope. Let's give it one last shot. Maybe they'll surprise us, and they didn't. Yeah,
it was a really bad game.
So
you know what it reminds me? You know what I'm going to call it right now? It is the official Operation Raccoon City of 2013.
There you go. Aliens, Colonial Raccoon City.
Yeah, it's that bad. If we refer to a bad game this year, we're gonna be calling it Colonial Marines, Aliens Colonial Marines.
ACR.
It's ugh.
All right, so we'll break down the technical stuff first, and we're gonna do this review a little differently in the end, but I do want to do the actual review stuff first. Graphics, bad.
I would say the graphics. I would give the graphics a 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10.
They look like
that's pretty accurate.
The graphics look like old Xbox PS2 graphics. Maybe I'll say Xbox graphics.
I would actually give it a 3 out of 10 because of all the graphical problems that we ran into.
Oh,
like,
true.
The hole into nothing that an alien came out of.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And that you could actually stand in.
You're right. It was basically just a blue hole where a grate came up, and you looked down, and it was just blue. Like,
yeah, it was
nothing.
It was horrible.
No. If it was black, it would have been better. But it was like bright blue.
Yeah,
like it is like the color of my hat.
I mean, it's a horrible looking game.
Yeah, it was bad, and we'll show you eventually. We do have some videos, but I want to save those for the end. And they'll probably play at double speed, but these I don't really care about. Sound, I don't have so much of a problem with because it was all movie sounds.
Yeah, the sound was the only authentic thing about the game. Some of the voice acting I was a little iffy about. But,
right.
Yeah, but part of that I would put on a bad script.
Right. And like the guns sounded good. The tracker sounded good. The aliens actually sounded pretty good. But it didn't match up with the aliens. Like the sounds that they were making, like when you would shoot them, didn't sound right. Like there was some disconnect there for me, and I didn't notice it so much in the co-op. But when I did single player, and then I did do multiplayer, because I did try to give the game,
a full look around.
Full look around. But sound, I'd probably give a 5 out of 10. Just because the voice acting was pretty bad. And
it was. There was one line in the game I forgot to make a comment about where the girl, she's like, she's like, yeah, one of those face hugger things was on my face, but it's dead now. Yeah, so I'm okay. And then the guy says something. He's like, oh, yeah, nothing's gonna happen to you now.
Yeah.
Like he literally said that line. I'm like, did I really just hear that? But I just. No, so much other bad stuff was going on that I just did not care to comment.
I think my favorite sound bite moment was after on the next level. I think it was 4. Basically, trying to articulate it. I can't. You fight off a whole bunch of aliens, and then you come around a corner, and one runs past you, and the guy that's with you is like, "What the hell was that?" I don't know. Maybe it's the things we've been fighting for 20 minutes. The order was just awful. Had that come first, it would have been genuine. But at that point, we had blown up 20 of them.
And you're talking. This is the 4th mission.
This is the 4th mission. 20 in the 4th mission because we've already played the first 3. So yeah, I'd give the sound probably 5 out of 10.
Yeah,
and that'll probably be the highest score.
Yeah. Wow. Well, so what other
graphics, sound, gameplay?
Gameplay.
We'll do single player, and then I'll talk about multiplayer.
The campaign.
Yeah.
The gameplay. I just didn't like it. I didn't like any of it. I hated the non-interactive pseudo interactive mode, quick time events. Yeah, where you thought you could control. After Halo and Call of Duty, I think Call of Duty started that type of stuff, where you're in first person mode, and you crawl across a floor or stuff like that. This game totally did it for you. I'm like, it just felt off. I didn't like it just felt very hokey.
To expand upon that, I didn't like the actual gunplay of it. The guns sounded great, but they didn't really have a kick to them.
The recoil went down on the guns instead of up.
Yeah,
that was weird. That was really weird. The armor we played co-op, so the armor was shared.
Yeah, whoever picked up armor would get it. You picked up a flamethrower and tried to cycle to a different weapon and just dropped it and it disappeared.
I forgot about that.
The aliens' bodies just disappear as soon as you kill them. So the big thing was the acid damage was non-existent.
Yeah, didn't have that. Didn't have the acid damage.
Face huggers are a joke.
They are. Well, what about that tail we saw?
Yeah, you put that under graphical.
Yeah.
There was a tail sticking out of an egg just doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't do anything with it.
Nah. That game was just atrocious.
Yeah, single player was pretty bad. You also have to fight human enemies, which did actually have a little more sense of self-preservation than the aliens, because the aliens, the main problem was they just run straight at you.
Mm-hmm.
Like
they just run right into your bullets.
They pop straight up, or they pop out of a grate, and that is the extent of their animation. They either pop up or pop down and run straight.
Mm-hmm.
That is it.
Yep.
So the humans do a little better. They actually hide behind cover and stuff.
Yeah.
The problem is the humans were, in my opinion, like way too overpowered. Like, you know,
mm-hmm.
if there were more than one, you had to like sit behind cover and just take pot shots. Like,
yep.
This isn't really a cover-based game.
No, the reason this game reminded me of Operation Raccoon City so much is because it's the same way. Dare I say that Raccoon City might be better than Colonial Marines?
See, I want to play Raccoon City now as
it's
a friend.
It's $5 this week.
I know.
It's $5 this week. I might do that so we could do a co-op Let's Play maybe.
Because I mean, you at least finished Raccoon City,
mm-hmm.
and you can't even throw in the argument like, oh, you're a bigger fan of Resident Evil than you are Aliens, because
yeah.
I'm a huge Aliens fan.
Yeah, you are.
Like, I bought a knife molded by Geiger.
Wow.
So I am a huge Aliens fan, and I couldn't even sit through this.
Yeah.
So.
But like in Raccoon City, you can also I mean, obviously you're fighting zombies, but you're also fighting. You also fight military people. So there were, so it's like zombie monster fighting mixed with gunfights. So, but at least in that game you could hide behind cover.
Right.
So, but yeah, it reminded me of that.
So overall, and then we'll get into kind of the after party for the
after party, huh?
Yeah, for the Aliens. And what really sticks in my craw about Aliens, but overall,
I give the game a 3 out of 10.
I will give it probably a 5 out of 10 because the multiplayer, once they fixed the glitches, which I know I didn't really talk about multiplayer, but multiplayer was fun. It captured what single player was missing because humans control the aliens, so they're smarter and they know how to pick you off.
Yeah.
And the gameplay modes were genuine. Like there were like extraction modes where it was like 4-on-4 and the aliens had to stop the humans from getting out. Then there was typical team deathmatch and stuff like that. But I felt, and this is what I said to you, I felt that hope that this game could have given, which actually kind of made single player worse.
Yeah.
But I would give it probably a 5 out of 10 solely on the multiplayer and solely on the fact that if
it had no multiplayer, what would you give it?
A 1? Because
it's
not even playable. Like,
yeah.
Most instances, there were graphical problems, there were glitches, there were game-ending bugs, there were audio problems. I mean, at certain points, the audio just dropped out.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So,
yeah, our audio dropped out a couple times.
Yeah.
The main thing that I did not like about this game is that it was missing the aliens atmosphere. I can recall playing Aliens vs. Predator 1 and 2. Even I played the demo for the original, or the newer Alien vs. Predator, and those games had an atmosphere about it where you can, it still felt there's that dark, scary, atmosphere to the game. Kind of reminiscent of the feeling you get when you play like Dead Space and some of the older Resident Evil games. This game just did not have it. It did not feel like Aliens at all.
Nope.
It felt very gimmicky, hokey, and arcade-like, which is what Raccoon City had.
Yeah. And I mean, there is a place for those games, but this game wasn't built as that. This game was built as a tension game, and that was perfect because this will segue perfectly into it. Up in its 7-year lifespan, we've seen many different iterations of this game. It started out as a squad-based shooter, then kind of evolved into just a shooter under Gearbox. But I'm going to show a video now, and this is actually the development video that was shown at E3 last year. So basically, this was what they were going to say. This is what this game is going to be when it comes out. Because if you originally remember, the game was originally supposed to come out 6 months ago. So it was supposed to be a 2012 game.
Oh, that's right, and they delayed it because it was that crappy.
Yeah. So this is the development video.
Is it playing?
Yes. I have the sound off because I do kind of want to talk over it. But, you know, typical Alien fare. Like, you got a bunch of guys that don't know, and boom, one gets grabbed. And the first thing you'll notice, I mean, after the alien, is the game looks pretty good here.
Oh, yeah.
Like, aliens are jumping around, they're moving, they're climbing on the walls. Still kind of running straight at you, but...
Are the bodies staying on the ground?
Yes. The bodies do stay on the ground. But the graphics actually don't look that bad. Like,
No.
You know, it's not Crysis, it's not,
Halo?
It's not Halo, it's not Gears of War, but the water effects look good, the aliens look good. Look at that, a scripted event, holy crap. You know, that really doesn't look that bad.
Mm-mm.
See, if we could have got this game, I would have been excited
Oh,
for
yeah.
it. Now,
Heck yeah.
that is the E3 demo. Let me show you the same area from the actual game.
Oh, boy.
This is the same area, same quality video. They're both 720p video, so the quality doesn't matter. That alien literally just ran away from him. They don't look good. The effects are gone. At least the bodies stay in this one, so this might be the PC. Or they might have a little bit turned up. But I want him to get back to that room where we saw it earlier. But, you know, nothing on the walls, nothing on the ground, no textures at all.
Yeah, the game looked very flat when we played it.
Alien kind of just standing there.
It looked like he was, like, doing a little... Yeah, this does look like PC.
Yeah, so it does look a little better than what it did on consoles.
Yeah.
Come on, guy. Get to where you're going. You're, like, right there. Yeah, so look, this is the same area that they showed in that demo. Same part of the story and everything. Yes, somebody mentioned the death animations are awful. Yes, they are.
They are.
In fact, if you get a death animation, you are lucky. Because most of the time they just kind of stop where they are.
They just stop and then they're down. The death animations for the humans that you kill are even worse.
Yeah, they just disappear. But, I mean, how can a game get that much worse in half a year?
I don't know.
They're like two completely different games. They are completely different.
It's like a 360 port to a Wii or something.
It's almost like they took a good, a somewhat good game, and they said, okay, we're going to port that game to the Xbox, the first one, and then we're going to port it back, and then we're going to swap all the story around. Yeah, I am extremely disappointed.
Yeah.
Gearbox, I love them for Borderlands, but, you know, like a lot of people that have played this game are kind of like, you know, you guys messed up bad on this one. You know, we gave you the benefit of the doubt with Duke Nukem Forever because, you know, that game was 80% done when they picked it up. They kind of just, you know, fixed the bugs and sent it on its way, kind of as a memento for all the people who are waiting for it.
Yeah.
This game, they had no excuse. They took good developers from this project and put it on Borderlands 2, which Borderlands 2 was an amazing game, and you know, sacrificed it for this one. If you can't do the project well, don't sign up for it.
Yep.
So I am extremely disappointed in this game.
And they took out all the resources.
Right.
You know.
I am so disappointed in this game that I actually went. Well, I'm actually going to buy the the previous Aliens versus Predator game, which also didn't do that well, but it scored solid 6s and 7s. And I played all of that. I played the multiplayer of that. I think almost platinumed that on PlayStation. And I enjoyed that one. You know, it's not an amazing game, and it's nowhere near the old PC versions.
Nah.
But it was a fun game. This game can't even
hold a candle up to it.
Right. So, Aliens Colonial Marines, I am calling it worst AAA game of the year already.
Yeah. It's disappointment of the year. Right, give it a Razzie, whatever.
Yeah, like, honestly, at this point, the worst game has some pretty big shoes to fill. So, we will wait and see if they do a Captain America game tie-in.
Or Thor.
Or Thor, yeah. Well, I think we've beaten Aliens to a acidic, bloody pulp. We talked about games getting shorter, and that game wasn't short enough.
No.
And, you know, all our other stuff. So, I think that's pretty much going to be the show for today.
That's the show for today.
I'm going to have Dishonored Let's Plays coming out. I have Devil May Cry Let's Plays coming out. We do the shows every Monday. You have some stuff coming out that you're working on that you don't want to announce yet.
Yeah. I thought it was... See, I'm procrastinating.
Right.
So.
You kind of worked on it a little bit this weekend.
A little bit, yeah.
Skyrim is on hold because I don't quite know what I want to do with it yet. I don't know if I'm going to do like a extremely abridged Let's Play or if I'm going to try to do a show out of it. There's some stuff I want to work on. I'm also going to start a live streaming Torchlight 2 and maybe some other PC games once I get into it. I'm going to start doing that Saturday nights.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Very cool.
I might actually live stream some other stuff on Wednesdays, but Saturdays will be the live stream day. So, gamersdigest.me/live, or you can go to the Twitch channel, or you can go to the YouTube channel. We always got something going on. So, hopefully the outro plays at normal speed. Otherwise, we'll just end the show there.
Yeah, we'll end the show there, and
because I don't feel like reloading it again. I kind of pitched everything anyway.
Yeah.
So, see you guys.
See ya.
Nope. Just so you know, I let that run double speed for my wife.